In the world of global finance, Africa is often cast in a tragic role, rich in resources, yet shackled by foreign debt. Nearly every African nation is indebted to institutions like the IMF and World Bank, caught in a cycle of loans and repayments that stifle true progress. Structural adjustment programs force governments to privatize assets, cut public spending, and liberalize markets, often at great social cost. The dream of independence gave way to dependency, as new loans were taken just to pay off old ones. Budgets are squeezed, forcing impossible choices between debt payments and essential services. National sovereignty is compromised, with key decisions outsourced to foreign technocrats. Africa's wealth enriches others, while its people remain impoverished by a system designed to keep them dependent. Yet, amid this landscape, one nation stands apart: Eritrea. Eritrea holds no debt with the IMF or World Bank and has never accepted a structural adjustment loan. Instead, it has chosen radical self-reliance, a path forged in the struggle for independence. This choice has defined Eritrea's character, economy, and its unique place in the world. When Eritrea gained independence in 1993, its leaders faced a daunting task: rebuild from scratch. The world expected them to turn to the IMF and World Bank, but Eritrea's leadership refused. For them, accepting foreign loans meant trading one form of control for another, neo-colonialism in disguise. True sovereignty, they argued, required economic independence. This philosophy, known as Wasai Yikelo, became the foundation of the new state. Eritrea's government made a deliberate choice: no loans from international financial institutions. Their experience during the Liberation War, surviving with minimal external support, instilled a deep belief in self-reliance. They applied the same principles to nation-building, determined to fund their own development. Eritrea's path was set: self-sufficiency over dependency. Eritrea's commitment to self-reliance was tested almost immediately. A devastating border war with Ethiopia drained resources and shattered the economy. Most nations would have sought emergency loans, but Eritrea refused. Instead, it mobilized its people through extended national service, creating a vast labor force for reconstruction. Conscripts built roads, dams, and worked on state projects for minimal pay, reducing the need for foreign capital. The war's end brought no peace, just a tense stalemate, and, later, UN sanctions that further isolated Eritrea. Despite immense pressure, the government never borrowed from the IMF or World Bank. Eritrea's resilience became a point of national pride, reinforcing its narrative of heroic defiance. The leadership used external threats to justify its harsh policies and maintain unity. Through war, sanctions, and isolation, Eritrea survived. Proof, in the government's eyes, that self-reliance was not just possible, but necessary. The cost was high, but the policy of zero foreign debt endured. Eritrea's survival under these conditions is central to understanding its national psyche. Eritrea's debt-free model relies on a unique, state-dominated economy. The government controls major industries, directing resources and managing foreign currency. Mineral wealth, gold, copper, zinc, provides vital revenue, with the state holding large stakes in mining projects. The Eritrean diaspora is another pillar. A mandatory 2% tax on overseas citizens and remittances brings in crucial foreign currency. Indefinite national service supplies cheap labor for infrastructure and state enterprises, slashing costs. This system allows Eritrea to function without external loans, but at the expense of private sector growth and individual freedom. The state substitutes financial capital with the human capital of its own people. Eritrea's economic survival rests on state control, mineral revenue, diaspora support, and conscript labor. Eritrea's radical self-reliance has preserved its sovereignty. No foreign technocrats dictate its policies. The government touts modest successes in healthcare and literacy, achieved on its own terms. But the price has been steep economic stagnation, a stifled private sector, and slow modernization. Indefinite national service has driven a mass exodus of youth, fueling one of the world's worst refugee crises. the dream of prosperity remains unfulfilled, as the state prioritizes collective sovereignty over individual liberty. Eritrea is free from foreign debt, but many citizens lack the freedom to shape their own lives. The result is a paradox: national independence at the cost of economic dynamism and personal freedom. Eritrea's balance sheet is sobering: sovereignty gained, but at a profound human cost. Eritrea's model has drawn sharp criticism from Western governments and human rights groups. Its lack of elections, free press, and indefinite national service are condemned as authoritarian and abusive. The West views Eritrea's rejection of the IMF and World Bank as a challenge to the global order. Sanctions and diplomatic pressure aim to isolate and contain Eritrea, reinforcing its pariah status. The government, in turn, sees this as hypocritical, an attack on its hard-won independence. This cycle of mistrust deepens Eritrea's isolation, fueling its defensive, nationalist stance. Eritrea remains on the periphery, its model dismissed as a dangerous deviation from accepted norms. Eritrea stands alone in Africa, debt-free, fiercely independent, and deeply isolated. Its path proves that survival without foreign loans is possible, but the cost is immense. The model relies on extreme mobilization, mass conscription, and political repression, methods few would choose. For other African nations burdened by debt, Eritrea's example is both inspiring and cautionary. The question it raises: is there an alternative to the cycle of debt and dependency? Eritrea's answer is harsh, but it forces a vital conversation about true independence. The challenge for Africa is to find a path to development that preserves both sovereignty and freedom. Eritrea has shown one way. Now the continent must seek another.